Okay, in this demonstration, what we're going to do is test out the difference between IPsec with AH and IPsec with ESP. So first of all, let's take a look at our local security policy. And this is computer 2. I've got computer 2 and computer 3. Computer 2 here has an AH only policy. And take a quick look at this. For our filter action, we're going to request the use of AH. And we're going to request the use of the MD5 algorithm with AH. However, we are not going to provide data encryption whatsoever. We're just going to provide integrity of our information to make sure it's not tampered with. So, what this demonstration is going to do is we're going to use Network Monitor to capture a packet going from computer 2 to computer 3. We'll see that it's clear text. We'll do it with AH and see that it is again clear text. The data is clear text. Then we'll do it with ESP and find that the data is encrypted. So first of all, we'll set up Network Monitor. And we'll set up the command line. I'm just going to do a net send message to computer 3. We're going to capture this with Network Monitor. So I'm going to go ahead and start Network Monitor and then send the message. And then stop Network Monitor. And let's take a look at our captured data. In that short period of time, we captured 374 frames. 374 frames. So what we're going to do is filter, of course, to filter out what we just did. So we'll do a display filter, and the protocol in use for a net send message is SMB. So we're going to disable all of these and then find the SMB protocol. Server message block protocol, okay, okay. And aside from the browser messages, we are now down to our 2 SMB packets. And here is the message that I sent from computer 2 to computer 3. So we'll double click this frame and see the message. And there's the message, hello. So you can see that very clear. We're looking at the packet level here, and that data is visible between the 2 computers. Okay, so let's enable the AH IPsec policies and see what happens then. So on computer 2, you right-click and assign the AH policy. And then I'll switch over to computer 3 and do the same thing. I'll just switch over to computer 3. There's the message from computer 2 to computer 3. And on computer 3 here, in local security policy, I have already set up another AH only policy. So I'll go ahead and right-click and assign that. And now they're both going to be requesting to be using AH. So I'll switch back to computer 2. One other thing to show is when you ping another computer using IPsec, that they negotiate IP security first. There's something called security association that's negotiated first. Once they negotiate, then they communicate. So they were negotiating, they both agreed to use AH, and then finally they're communicating. So I've got them set both to use AH. Let's now use Network Monitor. We'll do a brand new capture. I'm not going to save the last capture. This will be a new capture from scratch. Then we'll do another net send message, send another message from computer 2 to computer 3. Starting the capture, back to the command prompt, I'll resend the message. Hello a second time. Message was sent, stop the capture, and let's look at the frames. You'll notice in the statistics we've captured 431 frames in that short period of time. So you can see why filtering becomes a very valuable tool for you to use with Network Monitor. So here are all of our frames. We're going to do a filter. The SMB protocol. And there is our message then. The SMB packet was sent. Opening this up in more detail, we'll see there is hello a second time. So we can still see the data clear text using AH. Now you'll notice up above here it says IP protocol equals AH authentication header for IPsec. So we are assured that while the packets are in transit, that they are not being tampered with. So there's no chance of a man-in-the-middle attack at this point, but somebody could still use a network monitor just like we're using and capture the data real time. So they can capture the data and still read the data. So this time, the third time here, I'm going to set up ESP in our policy. I'm going to go ahead and edit our AH-only policy. Go to the properties of that. And on the Filter Action tab for Request Security, we'll look at the details of that. And there's our custom security method, AH with the MD5 algorithm. So AH just provides integrity. I have a second method set up already to use ESP. You'll notice there's no AH, but there is ESP, integrity and confidentiality. So we're assured of no man-in-the-middle attack, and we're assured of data encryption. Quickly looking at the properties of that, you'll notice it just says integrity and encryption. If we were to go to custom, same thing. ESP would just be this checkbox providing integrity, meaning the packets are not tampered with, and encryption, meaning the data is not readable. So what I'll do is move that up higher in the list as our preference. So that's our first preference now. I'll do that for computer 3 as well. So on computer 3, we can see that we had that message sent, hello, the second time. And on computer 3, I'm going to alter this policy to use ESP as well. Okay, now back on computer 2. Now, although the policy says AH only, I have modified it to be ESP only. So I could rename the policy, but the internals of the policy is what matters, and the internals is what says that we're going to use ESP. So computer 2 and computer 3 are now set to request to use ESP, and we should expect the data to now be encrypted between the two. So I'll set up network monitor again to start a capture of data, brand new capture, and we'll send a third message from computer 2 to computer 3, now using ESP. So hello, third message, and we'll press enter. Message was sent, and we'll stop the capture. And we've captured 695 frames this time, so a lot of frames being captured, and we'll go to display the captured data. A lot of frames here. You'll notice the ESP protocol now being used for many of the frames. So let's do our display filter for SMB. Now you'll see that we have 4 SMB packets, but not a single one of these has the message in question. Jumping over to computer 3 briefly here, we'll see the message again. There's the third message from computer 2 to computer 3. So it did get there. The data got there. And we can see it in unencrypted form on computer 3. But in transit, it was encrypted using ESP. So here we are back at our display filter, and just looking at these frames, none of these really relate to our net send message. And looking at the data, there's nothing there that we're going to see. Now I'm going to disable the filter, get back to all of our frames. So we're back to all of our frames. We'll notice we have the ESP protocol quite a bit. Let's filter out for ESP. So there are quite a few ESP packets in here. And in one of these packets somewhere is our net send message. Let's take a look at an ESP packet. Frame says it's using ESP, encapsulated security payload, and look at the data section here. Totally jumbled. Lots of strange characters, totally encrypted. Can't get into there, can't see it. That's why I say you have to have ESP to see inside of a packet encrypted using ESP. You just can't see it. It's encrypted. So that should demonstrate the difference then between AH and ESP using Network Monitor. AH, you can still see the data. ESP, the data is actually encrypted.